Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about the SG Scratch, new capsules as well as new triggers. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to talk about is of course the SG Scratch. So if you guys remember from my video yesterday, I talked about how the new SG Scratch, all of the prize items over here are going to be going away in the next iteration. And over here on the JP website, they have just confirmed this. All of the red asterisk stuff over here is the stuff that they just added in. And it says right here, all the prizes of this SG Scratch will end the display when the distribution ends. There are no plans to continuing displaying items at the next SG Scratch. Now, of course, this is Japanese directly translated into English, which is why it sounds really broken. But basically, the TLDR here is all of our current items in the current SG Scratch are going away when the new Scratch comes in. However, on top of that, there are several important points as well. The number of times this SG Scratch has been executed for the Scratch count bonus will not be carried over to the next SG Scratch. So that means if you have spent SG on this SG Scratch, you see this 40 more plays before you get a gift, this soaring bouncer ticket, this count over here will not carry over. Let's say you spent 1,000 star gems and you're 20 more plays to get a gift. When the new SG Scratch ticket rolls in, this will be reset back to 40 again, even though you did spend 1,000 star gems already. So keep that in mind. Another important point is this SG Scratch prize exchange ticket cannot be used for the next SG Scratch. So again, if you have these soaring bouncer tickets just sitting in your inventory and you're hoping that, oh, you know, when the new Retin region comes out, I'm going to be using these tickets to exchange for items that I actually want there, it will not work. Your soaring bouncer ticket only works for the current banner or the soaring bouncer SG banner right now, okay? So if you do have this ticket, make sure that you use it before the banner resets or the banner changes. Now, here comes the tricky part, or like thing that really boggles my mind, and that is the soaring bouncer SG Scratch lasts until January 19. So that is next year. So we're getting the big update on December 15th with Retim and all of that stuff. But our SG Scratch is still gonna be soaring bouncer until January 19. So this pretty much ruins my plans that I talked about in yesterday's video, where I was going to get the penny and stocking hairstyle on day one and all that stuff, because I have to wait until the SG Scratch resets. Now, of course, they might make it an AC Scratch item, but I don't think so. So my reasoning for this is because all of the main characters or story characters in the game so far, they've put them all in SG Scratch tickets. For example, Gaora, Aina, Manon, Dozer, Crawford, all of these characters have been put into the SG Scratch. Even the operators as well, they're all also in the SG Scratch. So I feel like the SG Scratch is going to be a consolidation of all the main characters, or all the story characters are going to be consolidated into the SG Scratch, since the SG Scratch is linked with the free daily Scratch. So they kind of want to keep all the story characters within the SG Scratch so that free-to-play players can still get those cosmetic items and cosplay as the main characters, or at least the story characters. So I don't think they're going to be putting any story characters into like an AC Scratch, for example. So that is my reasoning, but of course they may change things. So the next thing I want to talk about are the triggers. A couple people were really smart and they could read. I obviously can't read, but they pointed out that, hey, your yellow triggers and your purple triggers say ale at the very front. So, you know, we're currently in Aleo, so all of our triggers are ale whatever. There's an ale in the front signifying that these items drop in Aleo, or, you know, the current region that we're in. And we are moving from Aleo to Retim. So when we go to Retim, the chances are extremely likely that we're going to get new triggers. We're going to get the red yellow, the red purple, the red dominas, stuff like that. And so this was actually really smart. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even notice it until you guys told me in the comment section below. And it's just like, oh yeah, duh, that's a no-brainer. Because it makes so much sense. It really makes so much sense. So what I'm thinking is maybe in the swap shop. So currently when we go to shop, we go to item recycle. over here we can exchange a lot of our existing items for other items. Maybe we'll be able to exchange some of our ale things into ret items. However, obviously I'm not holding my breath on that. It won't happen on day one for sure because they want you to grind, but maybe later down the line, maybe later down the future, they might allow us to exchange it or at least craft special ones. But while we're on the topic of the swap shop or the exchange item selection over here, you may have noticed that they've added new items. You can now get the rare drop rate 25%. This is a scam. Do not take this item. There is success rate plus 30%, alpha reactors, a bunch of cool stuff over here, mission badges, as well as the special scratch ticket. Now for the observant few of you guys, these items aren't new. These have always existed, but now you can just access it from the shop over here. So like anywhere in the world, you can just go to item recycle and just do it. However, if you're an OG player like me or a content creator, you may have noticed that these items existed in Travis's shop the entire time when you go to item recycle. It has always been here when they added the whole mission pass thing. They just didn't really advertise it and they didn't really talk about it. But now you can just go to your shop, go to item recycle, and it's right here. You don't need to come back to town. You don't need to talk to Travis. Life is super easy, and yeah, it just makes things a lot more convenient. Now I know some of you guys are already telling me, Caro, they're not gonna let us exchange ale dominoes into ret dominoes or whatever, blah 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 blah. Well, they already allow us to do several things from the item lab already. Like you talk to them, you go to exchange augment capsules, you can make Gigas Might, Precisions, Techniques, Dreadkeeper 2, and Ale Domina. So I don't really see why not if we can exchange ale dominas into ret dominas or exchange other capsules in order to make ret domina. I think it still might be possible that they add this in some sort of exchange system. However, I would like to see them add all of these items into the swap shop as well, like when we just go to shop over here and item recycle. If there's like a different tab which just lets us exchange all of our capsules, that would be very convenient as well. But you know, it's not that big of a deal, to be honest, since you can just come to the item lab, since the only time you actually care about your capsules is when you're trying to add augments onto your weapons and armors anyway. So you know, it's fine. But just letting you guys know that, hey, this does exist, because I know a lot of people don't know how to make Ale Domina and they're like, how do you even get it? Why doesn't it drop for me? Is this like a super rare item? And no, it's not a super rare item. It's just really troublesome to make because you need 5 Ale Note A's, 5 Ale Note B's, C's, and D's, and then you're also going to need 5 Photon Quartz and 5 Trinite to make 1 Ale Domina. And you need 10 Ale Dominas in order to have a 90% success chance on augmenting onto your armor or onto your weapon. And then you use a 10% boost. Obviously, if you're spending that much money getting 10 of these capsules, you better use that 10% boost or else you're gambling with a lot of money, and that's crazy. Okay, so in conclusion, if you spent any SG on the current SG scratch, which is the Soaring Bouncer SG scratch, make sure that if you do want your Soaring Bouncer ticket, that you're going to need to go all the way and consume all 40 plays in order to get your ticket. And if you do have these tickets, you want to spend it before January 19th. Now I know that's like ages away, that's like 2 months and something away, it's really far away, but just reminding you guys that that is a thing, so you do want to make sure that you do spend it before then. And second of all is, unfortunately, with the Retum update on December 15, our SG Scratch is not going to update. We're not getting a new SG Scratch unless they introduce like another separate banner, which would be interesting because I wouldn't know how the daily free SG ticket's gonna work if we get a brand new banner. That would be very, I'd like to see that, to be honest. It'd be very interesting to see. Unless they're going the super Giga Brain style, right? They're gonna give us the Soaring Bouncer. This current one is gonna be associated with the free scratch, and then on top of that, they'll have a regular paid scratch. Like how we have our regular AC scratches over here, we'll have one which is only paid SG scratch, and that banner rotates normally so that our prize list isn't like super crazy gigantic with a bunch of 0%. You know, it would be nice if they did that. Not holding my breath, but I would definitely appreciate it if we saw that. We're gonna get new capsules of the Retum region, so I don't know if the abbreviation is just gonna be RET, like RET. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, I don't know. And last but not least, fully expect new triggers, so it's going to be the Ret Yellow as well as the Ret Purple most likely. But something that still boggles my mind is, of course, the SG Scratch being available until January 19. That's an awfully long period of time for this SG Scratch. The Soaring Bouncer SG Scratch ticket was introduced on October 13. So having it last all the way until January 19, that's a really long time. That's 3 months of the same SG scratch. So I find this really odd. Like, I don't remember how long the previous one lasted, but I don't think it was 3 months. Like, it was Braver, right? Braver SG scratch into the Bouncer SG scratch was like 2 months, I think. I'm pretty sure it was like 2 months. So it's a little bit odd having to wait 3 months here for the next one, but I'm sure they have their reasons. But you know, I secretly am hoping that they're just gonna separate it and have like a separate SG scratch which you spend your star gems on, and the prize pool is more consolidated, and that way it's worth spending your star gems instead of just sitting around hoping that you get it from your daily scratch, right? Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!
What can I say except you're welcome for the heals, the boosts, the